Not 10, not 20, not even 50. The house behind me just got reduced over $72,000. Let's have a look. Let's go. Hello and welcome to our Orlando Home Show where strategy matters, passion rules. And guys, I am back in Dade City showcasing a beautiful builder inventory home right behind me. And guess what? Not 10, not 20, over 50, actually over $72,000 reduced on this inventory home. And I've been saying this for a very long time. If you've been sitting on the fence and you've been thinking about buying a home, this is your golden opportunity for a very limited time when the market is such a typical buyer's market. There is a lot of deals that you can make. Let me just tell you a little bit more about this house. The first thing you're going to notice is that you have these beautiful pavers included in the price. I'll give you all the details of this as we go in and tell you all the specs about this house. But this house has a beautiful stone elevation included in the price. And you also have this beautiful porch light. What I love about this house is that you have these pavers that comes all the way up. And I kind of really like, you have like a little sitting area. So you can just have one of your rocking chairs and you just see what the neighbors are up to and whatnot. But let's go inside and check this beautiful house out. Hello, and welcome to another beautiful builder floor plan. This house is 5 bedrooms, 3 bathroom, 2-car garage, sitting on a 54 by 120 lot. This house is located in Dade City, and if you would like to know more about Dade City, make sure to check out Orlando Living with D. If the video is not released, it will be releasing soon, where I talk about school, hospital, shopping, dining. And guys, this is an inventory home available at the time of the shoot, not necessarily that it would still be available by the time this video is released. This house has been recently reduced from $526,000 to $454,000. That's over $72,000 in price reduction. There's some dollar sign too, but I can't remember this right now, but it has been reduced and it is over 3,300 square foot. To be exact, it is 3,316 square foot with a bedroom downstairs and a full bathroom sitting on a 54 by 120 lot. The base price of this house is actually, if you go to the builder and you want to build the exact house in the way that it is today, it's probably going to cost you way more than what they're selling. And this is something that I've been saying, guys, if you've been thinking about buying a home and you're sitting on the fence, this is your golden opportunity for a limited time before the market shifts over again. We have helped several of our clients relocate and buy some great deals. We just helped somebody recently buy a house that was listed with the builder for $570 for $525 in beautiful St. Cloud. So if you've been thinking about moving, this is your time to take a move and get some great, amazing deals. The first thing you're going to notice is that this has a really nice front. Like as I come in, as you can see, you have this beautiful, actually the builder doesn't really give you a beautiful chandelier, but it does have a really nice ceiling height. Your ceiling height on the first floor is 9'4". And then your second floor is going to be a frame house, which is mostly the case. Now, one thing that I do want you to know is that I've seen some builders do a whole frame house. I don't know about you, but I'm not comfortable. Most of the builders will do a block on first floor and a frame on second. When I build my personal house, that's the case. But I know that some builders are now trying to save money and they're just building the whole frame house. I'm not a big advocate of it, and I cannot in good as a fiduciary responsibility towards you, I would not suggest that. I would definitely want you to be able to have a block home, at least on the first floor, because we are a little bit we're not right by the coast, but this is Florida. It's nice, beautiful, sunny, and next thing you know, it's pouring like no other day tomorrow, and you need a Noah's Ark just to get out of your house. So that's just something that I want you to be aware of. So you have this area right over here. This is just an open space, and this could be your dining area, this could be your living area, whatever you want this to be. You have this nice big window bringing in a good amount of light. Now, this is an inventory home, and in this house, you have pretty much everything. Like everything that you see comes with the house. And if you go to build the house, it's going to cost you a lot more. Right over here, you have a nice size laundry. Look at that. And with this house, you get your washer, dryer, refrigerator, stove, microwave, and blinds. Everything is included. That's not necessarily going to be the case if you decide to build from scratch. And this is something that I've been saying it for a while, that guys, if you are looking, the question that you really need to ask yourself is this the right time for me to buy? Can I afford today's payments with today's rates? And at the time of the shoot, the rates for 30-year fixed on a single family home on an FHA or conventional is like in high sixes. However, the builder is buying the rate down. On top of reducing the price, they're going to buy the rate down and pay up to 6% towards your closing cost and prepaid. So I'm going to do the math towards the end of this video so you can see you can literally buy this house with just probably $15,000 or even less than that. So that is something to be aware of. You also have this nice little cavity right there underneath your staircase well, so it's kind of nice. And one thing I do want to point out is that this is something that you pay extra for. It is kind of plumbed. If you want to have a wash station, it is kind of plumbed, so you have that area. Now, as I come out, you have a door on your left-hand side that takes you to your garage. And I want to show you a couple of things in the garage. The first thing I want you to notice is that you see they have done epoxy over here. Usually with the builders, you always get a house which has just unfinished garage space. And you do have to do, like when I build my personal house, I have to actually pay extra to get my garage epoxied after I close. But with this builder on their inventory home, they have epoxied it. This is a block home, as I was telling you. So this is a solid block. And then you also have your water heater over here. Now, some builders will do a tankless water heater. Some builders will have this. But one thing I want you to notice is that this has this ballad. It is for people like me, so we don't kind of run our car into our water heater. But at the same time, if you see right over here, they've also plumbed it in a way that if you want to have your water, like your washer, or have a wash station, as some people prefer, you can actually do that here. So they have this right over here. So that is something you could do. You do get the garage opener right over here, and then it doesn't have any entrance to the attic from here. You probably will have it upstairs, most likely in your master bedroom is what you would. Now I'm going to take you upstairs in just a moment, but one thing that I want to point out is that you see right over here the banister. This is something that you do have to pay extra for it. However, with this house, with this inventory, this is already included. And as I come over here and look at this, the whole house kind of just opens up. So this is really nice. I would have really loved some extra lights. Now with most builders, just keep in mind, you will get these fixtures, which basically is pre-wired, and it is pre-wired for, I think 70 pounds is the weight limit that you can have a fan and a light or whatever you want this. So that is there for you. And then right over here is your little breakfast nook area or your semi-private dining area. Now this house does have an upgraded kitchen. So you have your double oven over here with this beautiful white 42-inch cabinets. I would have loved it if it would have been a soft close, but apparently it is not. With some builders, they will give you that as a standard feature. However, I do want to point out that with this builder, their standard feature is that they will vent your microwave outside. I don't know about you, but for us, we use a lot of spices and stuff. And if you like to cook fish or something, sometimes, you know, the smell kind of lingers in. So it's kind of nice that you have the thing venting out. The disadvantage of that is that you're going to lose the cabinet space over here. However, in a house as big as this, you already have enough cabinet space, but at the same time, you also have this nice pantry and like a little butler station right over here with the cabinets. In your standard feature, you would not have the cabinet over here. You will have this station, but you would not have those cabinets. So that is something that you do have to pay extra. With this builder, they have 3 different packages, and they start from 17,000, 27,000, and 37,000. They're called like standard, gold, and platinum or something along those lines. And that is something you have to pay. Now, I do like that they have this 17 by 17, or I think 18 by 18 or 17 by 17 tiles in all your wet areas and also in your common and the living area. Let me go ahead and take you outside because I want to point out a couple of things outside. The first thing that I want to point out is that you have this really nice covered lanai area. Now there is an option where you can have this extended because as you can see right over here, they just give you this standard pad, but there is an option you do have to pay more that this could be extended. So you have a more of an extended, and I think there is a structural there's a structural upgrade that you have to look into it. Now, if you guys going to be building from scratch, make sure to watch my video on do's and don'ts of building a brand new home. That's where I go deeper into what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So just make sure to check that out. You also have your lot that kind of goes all the way over here. So it's a really good size. So if you want to build a pool, that is something that you could do. The other point that I also want to make out is that you have your two AC handlers, or the two AC units right over here, one for downstairs, one for upstairs, which is kind of nice. So you can control the temperature of the house accordingly. I would have really loved it if these things would have just gone behind the wall, as some builders will do. It's very common feature with Pulte and Taylor Morrison. That's what they do. Now, as I come over here, you have your full bedroom, and I tend to go in the corner, so kind of give you an idea of how big the room is. But if you would like to know the floor plan, you want to know the dimensions, then just make sure to put that in the comment below, and I will do that. You also have this blind, and one thing I want to point out is that these are magnetic blind. I guess I can't do the magnetic too, but these are magnetic blind. Remember, you know, in the old days, you had those ring ones or the thread ones, and you have to do all of that. I have two small kids, and in the previous place that we live, we had blinds with those things, which kind of is dangerous with two little kids, especially these two little guys. I'm like, this little one, oh, he used to, you know, hold on, and he's like a little Tarzan, and we have to be careful with that. But that happens with the kids, especially boys, right? So you also have your closet, the split closet area right there. Not a huge fan of the split doors, but that it is what it is. And then as I come out, you have a full bathroom, and I want to take you there because I want you to see that this is an upgraded bathroom. Usually you will have a shower tub combination, but you have this upgraded bathroom with the glass enclosure. You have the undermount sink with the cords, as you see over here. And the other thing is that they actually built this door right over here, which is a pool door. So what it means is if you ever decide to have a pool, instead of people using this door, they can use that, and that is going to actually be good because this could act as your pool bathroom also, so they don't have to come through the living area. They can just be in and out of this. So it's kind of really nice and convenient. We're going to go upstairs, and as I mentioned, you know, this is something that you do have to pay extra for it. So let's go upstairs and check rest of this beautiful floor plan out. As much as I love to do this video, what we love to do the most is to help families like yourself relocate to sunny Central Florida, Orlando, Greater Orlando, Tampa, Tampa Bay. I've spent countless hours and I created this relocation guide. So make sure you scan the QR code and get this guide. It's going to give you some point of references so you can decide which suburban area is going to be better for you. And if you have a specific question, please reach us out. We are here to help and serve you. Back to the video. As I come upstairs, I want to point out that you have this handrail. This is actually required by code. So as you have people going up and down, they have something to hold on to. But the continuation of the banister, as you see over here, now if you don't pay extra for it, you will have a knee wall. So that is something to be aware. What I also love is that you really have a nice loft area with beautiful false ceiling. You have those extra lights that I always talk about. But look at the space, you know, you can have a gym, you can have your living area. In my case, with my two boys, it would be a study area and whatnot, but it's kind of really nice. You have this big window, you have 3 big windows and another window over here, bringing in a lot of light. And whenever you have a house, I personally prefer that, you know, you have a house that brings in a lot of light. That is something that I really like. And then this is what I want to also show you. You have this space right there. You have the 2 AC handlers, and it has a little bit of place where you can store a few things, but you want to be careful you're not storing it too much because there's not a lot of space right over here. But it's kind of nice that you have this door, and then you have the main air intake right over here. And then as I come over here, you have the other bedroom with this nice window, bringing in a good amount of light. I would have preferred, like if I'm building the house from scratch, which I did for my own personal house, I made sure that I get those extra 2 lights because like I always say, you know, it's nice, beautiful, sunny. Actually, when I started the video, and now as you can see, the weather started to change and it looks like it's going to rain. But that is something, it's a matter of personal choice, but I would highly recommend that, and you can thank me later for that suggestion. You also have your closet space, nothing extraordinary, but you have this nice, decent size closet space over here. And then as I go adjacent to it, you have the full bathroom. It's a shower tub combination, so you have this right there, the same tiles. But what I love is that you have the double sink. This comes in handy when you have multiple kids. Like I have 2 boys, so it could be this is my other son, this is my other son. They can do their own thing, which is kind of nice. But with some builders, what I've also seen is that they will have that, but they'll also have a door that kind of leads to the water closet along with the shower tub combo. So that is something that Hanover does. Now they're called Trinity. So that is something that I have always seen that happens, which is kind of really nice. And then you also have the linen closet right here. But this is what I was talking about. Like you get this chandelier right there, but look at the ceiling height. This is really nice. You can always replace the cheap builder thing that they give you. I did that in my personal house and it will really reflect. But what I love is that you have this nice window bringing in some natural light. And then as I go over here, you have another bedroom, which is a decent size, not a huge bedroom, but definitely a decent size with a nice window. And then you also have your split closet door right here. Not a huge fan of this, and I know I say this over and over again, but trust me, like one of the reasons I say that is because it just, when you do that, and if you don't have patience like me, sometimes you can then have the whole thing fall on you. Now this is another bedroom right over here, and it is kind of a pretty good size. And then you have a nice walk-in closet. Like look at the size of this walk-in closet. This is pretty nice, and that they gave you a light. Sometimes some builders will not even do that. So it's kind of really nice. You have this nice big window. Now the ceiling height over here is about 8 foot and with a 6'8" door. So that is something that is very common with this builder. So please keep that in mind. And then as I come out, I just like the fact, I like that one more so than this one because this is more internal, so I may not necessarily spend the money. Now, if you are going to be building a house, please make sure to watch some of my videos because I have done videos about the kind of inspection you need to get, what kind of home you need to do, and please make sure to check out my other sister channel, which is Orlando Living with D. That's where I go into different suburban areas. And guys, if you speak Spanish, make sure to check out Orlando Home Show in Espanol. We do the same videos in Spanish. But I also know that YouTube recently had an upgrade where you can watch all our videos. All you got to do is change the track. You can watch them in Spanish, you can watch them in Portuguese, you can watch them in Chinese, you can watch them in Hindi, you can watch them in any other language that you prefer, which is fantastic because all you got to do is change the track and it will show you everything that I'm speaking. It will just translate. So I like that you have those extra lights, you have the nice false ceiling, and then right over here, you have a good sized closet. I was just talking about this with my videographer. Like I should buy some shares into these wires because it doesn't matter which house I go to or which builder I do. Most of the time you have this. And sometimes I've seen this in a multi-million-dollar home. And I don't know. I mean, like maybe the builders have something going on because almost every builder will have the same wire mesh as the space in their closet, and that's what the racks that they use. So you have this nice big window overlooking your back. So if you have a beautiful pool or if you have a conservation lot or something, it's really nice that you have a good scenery out there. And then this is your master bathroom, and what I love about this is that you have this 2 sink separated by a little down, it's like a makeup for our wonderful ladies, wife, girlfriend, and some lucky people both, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna get into trouble. But this is where you have, so it's nice. And then you also have the water closet, which is right over here. And what I like is that it's really, sometimes you go into some builders and it's too skinny. So it's kind of nice that it's a little bit spacious right over here. And guess what? Hallelujah, you have the walk-in shower right over here. This is a standard feature with the builder. The upgrade is in regards to the tile work that you see over here, which is kind of nice. And I don't know, they took it, they could have just done this whole thing all over up, but I guess they didn't want it to spend that another $200 that would have cost them. But hallelujah, I love this. You have another closet. I love this, but it's a different story at my place. But the good thing is you have a closet right here and you have a closet right over there. And you also have a closet right over here. So this is kind of really nice. Let me know what your thoughts are for this specific house. And if you have been thinking about buying a house, make sure to check out our reviews. Go on Google, Zillow, Facebook. Check us out, because we would greatly appreciate to be the agent of choice. If you have any specific questions, let us know. We are looking at a lot of properties, and I know with the way the market is, this is your chance, guys. I was saying during the COVID period, people to come down and make that move, and people that listen, they not only got a great price before the price went all the way up, they also got a great rate. And then things started to dwell down and things changed. And yes, the market had been crazy, but right now the builders are making it affordable. In some cases, I've seen an inventory home that you can buy it at 4% fixed for like 4% fixed for 30 years, and the builder is paying. Now, let me do a quick math on this one, because this house, as I mentioned, is 454. And let's see, let me do a quick calculator. So if I do a 454,000 at FHA loan at 3.5%, this is what I end up paying, $15,890. Now, if you are a VA, first and foremost, thank you for your services. Or if the house qualifies for a USDA, you can actually get this house with zero down. So for all our VAs, we have helped a lot of VA family move, and they have been able to get properties for literally nothing, and in some cases got some money back. Now, you do have to put some money to get into the contract and spend some money on inspection and all that, but you end up getting a 0% down loan with the government backing, so that you can actually have a house. So if you've been thinking about it, give us a call. Now that I'm doing my song and dance on TikTok and Instagram and everything else, please make sure to check us out there. We look forward to connect with you. If you have any specific questions, make sure that you do that. And we also have a relocation guide that I created, because a lot of people were moving. They were asking some very common questions, so we did that. So make sure to download that too. Until the next video, thanks for watching. Bye for now.